everybody. Thanks for tuning in to my video. My name is Patty Ireland, so think of leprechauns and shamrocks and you'll remember my name. But most people call me Professor I. That's sort of become the tradition. And I want to officially welcome you to English 2120, Modern American Literature. Many of you in the class I already know. I've had you as students before, either in 1010 and or 1020, or I know you from around campus, and so I'm very glad to have you in this class. And others of you are new to me, so I welcome you as well. If you want to follow along with me, I'm going to sort of point out the high points in our syllabus and tell you some things that I think are important for you to know. And so you can find the syllabus by on our Brightspace course page, going to up at the top of the page, content. There are some tabs at the top. Click on content, and then over in the left-hand sidebar, you'll see course syllabus. So click on that, and if you want, you can follow along with me as I'm speaking. So I know syllabus kind of boring, but a necessary evil, right? You see my email address there. Obviously, that's the best way to reach me right about now because I can't go to my office. If you do want to have a conference with me, I'm not going to have set office hours, virtual office hours this semester. However, if you would like to talk with me via Zoom or Microsoft Teams or Skype, we can certainly set a time to do that. So send me an email at paireland@pstcc.edu. Let me know that you'd like to do that, and we will set it up at a day and a time that works with both our schedules. This class, as I'm sure you know, is asynchronous, and what that means is that all of the class assignments and information is conveyed to you through our Brightspace. And so we do not meet virtually in real time all together through Zoom or Teams or whatever, but rather you take part in all of the class activities and discussion boards, and you submit all of the assignments through Brightspace. So, it certainly isn't the same as being in the classroom, and I really miss that. I'm sure a lot of you do too, but it's the next best thing. So I want to welcome you to this class. It's a study of American literature, so American writing from the war between the states, the Civil War, to the present. So 1865, the end of the war actually, to right now. And obviously that's a huge chunk of time, and we can't cover everything. So it's sort of a survey course of that period of time. And it's a wonderful class. It's my favorite class ever because we get to look at so many incredible writings. The cool thing about watching this period of time, sort of observing the literature, is that we learn a lot about ourselves as Americans. We learn a lot about our history from 1865 to now, and sort of what made us who we are now. And so the literature, the writing, is a reflection of what's going on at whatever historical time you're looking at. And then the writing also is sort of a catalyst a lot of times for the history that is then made, which is also pretty interesting. I hope that this class will not only be good for you academically and make you a better thinker and writer, but I hope that it will be relevant in your real life, because we're going to talk about some subjects that are really just at the heart of the human experience. Life and death and relationships and struggle and beauty and hope. All of those things all rolled into one. That's American literature. We do have a textbook, the Norton Anthology of American Literature, and it's the shorter 9th edition, Volume 2. There's a picture of it there on the syllabus for you. A lot of the readings, though, can be accessed online, and you probably can also purchase an ebook of this Norton book if you would prefer to do that. But there are lots of the readings that will be able to be accessed online through a Google search, and many of them are already up on our Brightspace course page as well. So again, if you go up to the top to content and then look in the left-hand sidebar at readings, and you'll see that there are lots of the readings there that are there. If you still have a copy of that Little Seagull Handbook or the Little Brown Essential Handbook, whichever one you might have used in 1010 or 1020, hold on to it, because it will be helpful to you in terms of reviewing ideas about MLA citation and grammar and that sort of thing. The prerequisite, I can't talk for this class. If you did not pass English 1020 with at least a D, then you're not eligible to take this class. You can take it. The problem is you just won't get credit for it. So all that work would be for nothing. So be sure that you passed 1020 with a D at least, in order to actually receive the credit for this class. You can read the course goals on your own there, and you see how the grading plays out. Note that in a normal physical class, we would be meeting at least 3 hours a week, right? That would be our normal time, 3 hours. And in addition, obviously, you're completing work outside of class. You're doing the readings, you're writing the papers, you're doing whatever other assignments might be assigned for you to do. So an asynchronous class like this is no different than a normal situation in terms of the hours you'll be putting in each week. So you want to expect that you're going to put in at least 4 hours of time for this class every week, sometimes maybe 6 hours a week. And that's just, that's the nature of a college class. You see the course policies and requirements there. There's a disability services statement. Let me know if you do have an accommodation. And there's a blurb about conferences. I am going to hold individual conferences with you guys at one point during the semester, when we get close to turning in that research paper, which counts for a big 20% of your final grade. And we'll do that through either Teams or Zoom, whatever you prefer. I'll have a sign-up sheet for you, a virtual sign-up sheet. And that's a time when we can really look at that research paper before you turn it in, and I can help you with that and any other questions you have. But I encourage you, again, if you want a conference, let me know. You'll see the email and Brightspace correspondence policy, the paper format. There's a blurb about the quizzes. There are 5 of them. They are announced, obviously, because we're not in the classroom anymore. I can't spring it on you. There's a blurb about the documents that are all online for you and the discussion board postings. You want to read through all of that. There are 12 weekly discussion boards through the semester, and each week's board counts for 10 points. So this counts for a big part of your grade. This takes the place of what we would have been doing in class. So we would have been really talking through a lot of these texts that we're looking at together pretty much every class day. And the boards take the place of that. Again, they're not nearly as exciting and compelling as actual discussion face-to-face, but they're the next best thing in an online class. So sometimes you may only have one topic in a weekly board. Sometimes there may be 2. Rarely there might even be 3. There will never be more than 3, usually just 1 or 2 in this class. But the initial posting for each topic in the weekly boards will be due by 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday night every week. And then you'll respond to one classmate for each of the topics. And those responses will be due by 11:59 p.m. every week on that following Sunday night. So that is how that will work every single week. And participation in the boards are really vital to your success in this class, and to your success with the midterm and with the final exam in this class. So our very first boards actually happened this week, and your initial postings will be due by this Wednesday at 11:59, and then your comments to a classmate for each topic will be due by this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. There are some more policies there. There's a section about helpful resources that I put for you, online tutoring help, how to go about that. And then there's a little section, how to navigate the information on our Brightspace course site. I put a lot of information up for you, and it's all there to help you succeed, but I know that it can feel kind of overwhelming at first. So take a little time and just navigate through the Brightspace course site. Click on content, click on assignments, click on discussions. Just sort of feel your way around, right? And get the lay of the land, as it were. But what's important is that you want to follow the exact directions on the schedule that comes on toward the end of this syllabus, and or through the weekly checklist that I posted for you for every week, to know exactly, here's what's coming due for week 1, here's what you need to do for week 2, and to know when and where and how to submit or post within our course site. So to get to those weekly checklists, again, you would go to content up toward the top of the page, and then in the left-hand sidebar down at the very bottom, because it's in alphabetical order as everything is on the site, you would click on weekly checklist and week 1, and you would just check off every task for week 1, and that's how you know you're staying on track. So course documents will be found within the content section. So you go to content, course documents, online readings, again, content, readings. You'll post major papers, and we only have the one, which is the big research paper. The rough draft of that paper, the idea worksheet for that paper under the assignments tab. You take quizzes through the quizzes tab. Those are up at the top. And you can email classmates through the class list tab, which is up at the top of the page. You would post into the discussion boards through the discussions tab, also at the top. There are other resources that I've posted on our site to help you succeed. So to access those, you want to click again first on content. You'll see a section called General Information about resources for students. And there's technology tools and support, free literature, grammar exercises and grammar support, library information, and MLA help. So all of that is there for you. If you're having an issue, you can click there and hopefully find what you need. The American Lit Cafe is a discussion board forum under discussions, obviously, where you can talk to each other virtually about class questions and hopefully maybe get to know each other a little bit. It is ungraded. There are some netiquette rules posted that I'll ask you to follow. So etiquette for the internet, right? Netiquette. But they're just common sense things, basically. I do not grade the writings in the cafe. As I say, they're ungraded, but I will monitor the board just to make sure that everyone's following the rules there. The Teacher's Room is another discussion board forum on our Brightspace site within discussions where you can ask me questions. And both of these are down at the very bottom of the discussion boards. But before you post a question there, look at the syllabus, look at the weekly checklist section, look at the facts section, FAQs, frequently asked questions, also access through content, to make sure that your question hasn't already been answered there first, because it's very difficult to answer individual questions for 100 people, and that's really, I'm dealing with a little bit more than that this semester. If your questions aren't addressed there, or if you can't find what you're looking for, then go to the Teacher's Room and ask your question there, or email me directly. And if you know the answer to a question posted by one of your classmates in the Teacher's Room, or you have a comment to make, feel free to chime in there. The next section on the syllabus is entitled 10 Important Rules for Success in This Class. So get awake and read through those rules. because they really will help you to know how to succeed in the class. And then after that, you see the actual schedule. So you see each week and everything that you need to do for that week and how to access it. And again, that's all available on the weekly checklist section as well. And at the very end of your syllabus, you will see the syllabus agreement form. And there are 3 different ways that you can virtually sign and date it and get it back to me, so you can choose, whichever one that is easier for you. You just want to have that back to me by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday, the 30th. So that's a quick review of our syllabus, and that's part 1 of my welcome video. Part 2 is going to talk about some of these first readings that we're doing in week 1. So it's going to go through the Let's Get Real, defining and understanding realism in American literature reading. And actually that's the only reading you have for week 1. And then it'll also talk just a little bit about those first 2 discussion board topics that you'll have for this week. So again, welcome to the class. I'm excited about having you, and thank you very much for watching my video.